Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of realizing that it's basically letting go of all controls. I mean, I'm just gonna speak freely, and I'll see where it goes. I realize the problem is just the control. Although, yeah, I can see how it's not that controlling is bad, right? We can control our thoughts. We can control having wholesome thoughts. Sure, our attitude. Sure, but I feel like it's just for me. I guess my temperament is the whole problem starts with control. It's just this. I don't even know. It's like this almost feels like the freedom is just letting go of all control. You know? Just let it go. Like don't try to make it a certain way. And ironically, I feel more in control when I can let go of all this thing. But yeah, but the intention is not the control to begin with. The intention is just really just stop, you know. I I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the controlling, that's good. You can identify the problem. The controlling, the controlling is trying to make the external world conform to how you want it to be. Right? This is how the mind normally acts. It behaves like this. It tries to control things in the world.
Mm.
And the whole thing about the Buddha's teaching, the Dhamma, is just to let that all go. Just stop trying to control things, because things are not really in your control of action. This is what everyone who makes it far in the Dhamma realizes this. Realizes that trying to control things is futile.
It is futile. It's
But yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, trying to control things outside of your mind, like the external world. But the one thing that we do have control is our own minds, our own reactions, things, how we respond to things, and control our feelings, our emotional states, our thoughts.
I agree. I guess that's where the sadness comes when when I truly see that, well, yeah, I can only control my mind. That this is the only realm of control I have. And there's some sadness that comes out when I really admit that, you know, it's like, oh man, life sucks. I know this is my victim attitude. It's just, yeah, it really sucks to really see that. It's like I'm tricking myself for a long time. This external world can be conditioned to my liking, you know? So that's not true.
Yeah, it might take a while for that to fully seep in. Like it might not seep in at this time or a previous time, but it maybe takes like repeated seeing of like you really cannot control things outside of yourself. You have to see that like over and over again till you finally can let go of that. That's how it was in my case. It wasn't, yeah, it took some time. I mean, to fully grok that.
Yeah. It's like this mental habit of like, it's like I'm walking on the forest and I saw some rocks, and the mental habit is like grabbing it very strongly and saying it's mine. But the new way of what I've been observing here is just taking this rock lightly and knowing it's not mine, and I'm just looking at it. It's basically, it's very freeing. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I guess for the past few days, this it's almost this old habit comes back really strong. It comes back really strong, and it's like it's a no. It's like if I were to make a story out of it, it's a no. Um, who do you think you are? No, no. You have to control this. This is getting out of hand. This is crazy, and I start seeing a lot of internal conflict inside of me where the mind is spinning, it's going crazy, and I was like, wow, holy shit! Like, you're still here, huh? You're still, wow, you're still here. Hello, darkness. Yeah, so it's really strong.
Yeah, like, it's good that you can recognize it. You see it. You see it. You see your mind. You see it. You can recognize it as an old habit. So you have the sati, right? You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have to change it.
Yeah, dropping that urge and say, it's okay. Everything's okay. um, yeah, it's my reaction to the sensation, the feelings. Like I feel bad, so I want to control it, but no, it's just what it is. Like this is just feelings, and it's okay.
Mm. Everything's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We really need to remind ourselves that everything's okay. We're really okay. Everything's okay. Constantly over and over. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Because if we don't, then that's when the mind will make up a story that we're not okay.
yeah.
So,
I mentioned this to Mikey just now about I was like I suddenly remember, yeah, because we talk about life is uncertain, and I was mentioning why I love hiking. I love hiking so much because even though the path is kind of predictable, but most often than not, something always happens because it's just nature. And for some reason, I was perfectly okay with nature being nature. Like I was just, yeah, this is not my place, and it feels really nice to just navigate it and just see how it goes. Totally be okay with whatever, and this really makes me wonder. So okay, I can be okay with what happens in nature, but why is it when things happen in my life, I'm not okay? That's like where's this controlling freak coming from? And I know Mikey said, yeah, I can see your life as nature too. And I said, yeah, I know, I can see what you're saying. Well, that's the hard part, you know, that's the difficult part. That's I don't know, that's the Mara or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, is that we can't see our life as nature. Yeah, we want to control our life. We want to feel in control of our life. Like we want certain things in life, and we want it to go a certain way in the direction of our wants, right?
Mm.
But life is just like that nature trail. It's really not in our control. It's like we're just walking on a trail
Yeah.
that we don't really know maybe where it's going. Different things can happen. It can branch off different directions. We don't know what we will encounter, if we encounter dangers or pleasant environments that are. But yeah, most of society is trying to control their life. Most people in society, they're trying to make
Mm.
life a certain way,
Yeah.
and that's why I feel like, yeah, when I'm in society, I feel like I, everyone else's beliefs and wants and desires kind of, they have an effect on my mind. So it's like when I'm around people who want something from life, and I also start to feel like I want something from life too.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I guess this is why being in Sangha and talking to you, talking to Mikey, talking to Alexander or whoever is the people that really practice the Dharma, I feel so much peace. Like there's this permission to stop, you know, permission to just stop, just stop this mental havoc,
Yeah,
stopping this mental havoc from yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, it's quite different in the world. Like, it's a different mindset people have that's not really conducive to happiness. This is why all of us here in Thailand, we've all kind of separated ourselves from the world. Uh, we're kind of not really engaged in normal society, right? I'm here with Daniel, and he's a monk, and, and Mikey's been on Dhamma sports for a year now. I've been in Thailand like 2 years, not just living in temples. Uh, so yeah, if you're in the world, I'd say like just keep your wits about you. That the world is not really conducive. It's not really beneficial. Um, uh, it's still possible, I think, to live in the world, but I would say like be keep your wits about you.
I want to quickly say last night I was listening to a Dharma talk by Ajahn Brahm, this monk in Australia. Uh, he was joking about every time when people in meditation retreat, and then once it's finished, they will ask like, okay, so what do we do when we get back to the real world? And then Ajahn Brahm say, what do you mean real world? like like you going back to Perth with your artificial lighting, is that real? your air condition, is that real? The TV screen, is that real? What makes this place not real? The trees is real, the forest is real. And I also, I mean, the way he said it was really comedic. I can't deliver that same sort of energy, but yeah, it's really hilarious. It's we become so delusional, We, even me, like it's like when I'm talking to you or people like you, I can see very clearly, wow, that thought is delusional. But that's the thing, if I don't engage, talk to people like you in the Sangha, practice, it's like very easily, it's like, no, that's not delusion. That's what we want. That's what we want. it's, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's very easy to get sucked up in that and back into delusional thinking. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you're surrounded by delusional people, it's very easy to just forget all about Dhamma, all about Sangha, all about Buddha. Very easy just to get swept right up into that, whatever, the cyclone of the world. So yeah, be very wary. I would say if you're in the world, just be very cautious. Try not to go too far without coming back to Dhamma.
That's true. That's really, really true. I kind of want to quickly say thank you too. Last time we talked, because you given me some advice, or maybe it's not advice, but to me it was beautiful advice. I was talking about how when I was walking around and I see all this dazzling thing and I don't know where to look, and it's frustrating because it's like I don't want to look. And I guess I think you talked something about just looking at. Oh yeah, I said looking at the ground is kind of boring, like just pavement and nothing there. And then you say, yeah, there's the pavement can be something interesting. And it really got me thinking. I've been doing that a lot. Sometimes when I'm out in the world, I catch myself, my eyes are being bombarded by sensory thing, and then I just look down, and I was like, wow, this concrete slab looks really nice. it's it's really nice. Like some leaves on the ground.
Nice,
Really
nice,
nice.
nice. Yeah, 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 yeah. If your mind is still, if there's no hindrance in your mind that's arising, then it's everything can be seen as beautiful. And there's when your mind is really still, there's like almost a pleasure and just the sense of seeing whatever. Just like concrete is very aesthetically pleasing to a mind that is still, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Hmm.
And it's only when the hindrances come that it becomes uninteresting. It becomes boring. It becomes unbeautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. You're you're guarding your senses and finding wholesome ways to put your attention. Yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
agree.
I would say if you're in the world, like you definitely need tools to navigate. You need like certain tools
Mm.
to navigate the world.
Yeah, it I think the beautiful thing about the Dharma is like, at least over here, I've been seeing there's just this confidence in knowing that you can have fun with the most boring thing in the world. It's really wholesome, you know. Like it's yeah, it's just making things so simple that I don't need this, I don't need that. It's too complicated, I don't need that.
Mm.
So and then it's like, I think this is the thing about Dom, right? I mean, I still have that, but back then it was way worse. Like, there was this doubt, like, no, you need that. It's pleasurable thing. And it's like the mind split into two, the Dharma and the pleasurable. But then it's like, I see it more and more clearly. It's like, no, you know, like this Dharma, this is the true refuge. It's really nice. And it's very interesting, you know. I start to see doubt and many different texture. That there's some doubt that I just have to throw it out immediately. Like it's just immediately it's not good. And there's another kind of doubt where it's like neither good nor bad, and yeah, whatever. I can't do much. And like yeah, if you want to stay for a bit, I guess. I don't know. I'm still playing around. I'm still trying to see it. I just know some doubt is really destructive, and immediately it's like once I throw it away. Well, I'm not sure yet. I can't really say with confidence, but I can say like every time I throw it away and I come back to this moment, and then it just quiets down immediately. So I don't
Mhm.
know. It's
Yeah, just come back to this not sure. Just come back to not sure. Yeah,
yeah, not sure.
the doubt is only because you're trying to know. If you stop trying to know and trying to be certain about something, then there's no more doubt.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like wanting. It's still craving that. Actually, doubt is like a form of craving. It's a wanting to be certain, wanting to know, and yeah, you just throw that out. You don't have to know. You don't have to be certain. The only thing you need really is just to feel okay, feel happy, to feel satisfied, to feel joyful. To take a deep breath, feel good.
yeah. It's it's so simple. So it's so simple and easy. Um, this is where the thing starts. So it has been happening here lately. I'm kind of curious, but your perspective is every time I was able to come back to this sense of coolness, uh, it's almost like this energy of anxiety or wanting to know, this restlessness, whatever you call it, it starts going to my body, like especially my shoulder here. You know, it
Mm.
has been the soreness is it always kind of builds up every time I was able to successfully calm down my mind. Then it goes from here to here. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just keep massaging it. That's. I was like, yeah, I see you. Yeah.
Yeah, I I would say the body definitely can influence the mind. If your body is really tense, then your mind will naturally also be affected by that.
Yeah.
Like Yeah, so it's good if you have a lot of hindrances come up. Actually, do check your body. How is your body? Is it very tense? Is there a lot of like holding tension, restlessness in your body? Yeah, so it's like really important to relax your body. I think if you want to relax your mind, your body has to be relaxed too.
That's really true. Do you over there at Wasu and Mok, you've been there for a year or more than a year, right? How do you catch yourself body being tense? Like, do you?
Yeah, I do. Not all the time, I feel. No, it's kind of it's mostly I paying attention to what my mind is doing. I'm not so much paying attention to my body. But when I catch myself in hindrances, sometimes I do take a look at my body and I see my body is not relaxed.
I see.
Yeah, that that's why I also like breathing is so important too, because one way, a really good way to relax the body is just using your breathing, taking really deep breaths, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the breathing conditions the body and the body conditions the mind. If you really want to relax your mind, then you start with your breathing.
It's almost like the practice over here for me. Uh, what I've been paying attention to more and more is the feeling dispassion to what is happening, not in a negligent way. It's just like I see my thoughts acting certain ways. Like, yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's okay, and not that interested. And when there's feeling bad, it's like, yeah, it's okay to feel bad. Nothing much to it. Uh, and when the body is tense, yeah, it's okay. Let me nurture myself. It's will you call it that way? Dispassion, like for you?
Uh, so like this passion is like you see the thoughts and yeah, you're not really interested in what is the thought, you just go away with it. Yeah, I would call that this passion. Yeah, not passion, but the mind is concocting, right? You're dispassion, you're uninterested. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I remember all this, it's kind of funny how quick my mind can, yeah. It's like I jump out of it, and I have to jump back, and jump out, and I jump back. No, no. It's like it's like a bumpy road, and then suddenly I fall off the wagon. It's like, oops, how did that happen? It's like I have to get back.
Yeah, yeah. You always get back. You just have to get back on. You fall off, just getting back on. Um,
What's the most difficult thing in this practice for you, or maybe there's none? I don't know. Just kind of curious, I guess. Like,
the most difficult thing in this practice, is just to keep doing it.
yeah, that's the repetition. Right? There's nothing more.
Yeah, just to remember to keep doing it.
Makes sense. It's a lot of sense.
Because the only difficulty is when you don't remember. That's when it gets difficult. That's when the
Yeah,
dukkha comes, right? That's the only time when the dukkha comes is when you don't remember. So
that
that's
makes
why
sense.
remembering is the difficult part.
No, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's like if you can remember, then you got no problem. There's nothing wrong. Everything's okay. Yeah. Do you agree? Or
No, it's just I realize sometimes it's hard to remember because of the clinging I still have. It's like
Mhm.
clinging to one thing seems to be a certain way. It's just a very old conditioning. It's like
Mhm.
I don't trust it. I don't trust it if it doesn't go this or that way. Because if anything that falls outside of this or that way, disaster is gonna happen. I don't trust myself. I don't. I don't know what's gonna. It's like this freaking out. It's like the alarms going off inside the body. It start. It starts going everywhere. Uh, but yeah, it's still clinging. It's still clinging.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
see the clinging.
Yeah. To see the clinging. See the clinging. Remember to see the clinging. And see the craving that comes before the clinging. Yeah.
Craving before the clinging. Yeah. Craving it to be certain way. Craving to want this, to want that, to want this feeling,
Mm-hmm.
to want this safety net. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, what comes before craving is feeling. So when you have nice feelings, when you have a thought that, yeah, the thought even becomes before feeling. So you have a thought and then it's a pleasant thought. And then you start to crave based on that pleasant thought. The mind starts to crave.
That makes sense. So it start with a pleasant thought. I mean, this thought of wanting something first, and it gives rise to feeling. Then that's when the craving comes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And not just thoughts, but any sensory impression can trigger a pleasant feeling.
Ah, that makes
The,
sense.
the visual sense. If you have a pleasant visual experience, and yeah, you can maybe notice a craving arise from that, and it's like a slight dukkha in that. Yeah. So yeah, this Dhammarata always talks about like wisdom at the point of contact with your sense experience, and that includes thinking and yeah, the thoughts in your mind and your
So so when the thoughts start forming about, well, yeah, maybe it's I can put some into context because this is what's been happening in my life lately. Currently, uh, to put it really simply, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to continue my relationship with my girlfriend, my partner, and but when I'm not thinking about it, when I'm not contemplating, everything's actually okay. There's like it's really okay. But when I start thinking, so in this context, it was this I have a thoughts of how a relationship should be, something like that. This pleasant thought, that's where I start to feel something, and then that's where the craving comes. Uh, the craving to make it a certain way. So I'm not sure. It's kind of like seeing the pleasant thought of wanting it to be certain ways, and immediately wisdom at the point of contact is, I see you. It's okay. Is that it? Is that it? I don't know.
That's it. As soon as you have a thought that says it needs to be this way or it needs to be that way, it needs to be different than how it is, then you just say, haha, I see that. I see you, Mara. Then yeah, you can just take a deep breath and let that thought go. Come back to being free of dukkha, because that thought is dukkha. Any thought that's about trying to control things, make things a certain way is dukkha. So we just release the dukkha. Yeah, like I think that's a very common thing that people think about actually in relationships, right? It's like they always want their partner to be different. I want our relationship to be a certain way. It's not that way, so then therefore, maybe there's a girl, a partner is better for me out there. That's really the dukkha. Like we always think it's gonna be better. We want something better, or we want it according to our dream. Yeah.
That makes sense. Uh, the thought goes everywhere. We're distracted by the thoughts and not being here.
Hmm.
This present experience, which is kind of nice. But the thoughts tricks us. The mind just goes here, goes there. Yeah.
Yeah. The clinging, is actually when the thought is not being seen. It's thought arises and there's no sati around it. So then that is the clinging actually to the thought.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that's a very simple way of saying it, and I really need to hear that. It's so it's so quick and simple. Yeah, it's just there's no awareness around that thought. It's you don't get dragged around by it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's so true. So true. This is why I think it makes more and more sense. Dhamma to always say right noble viewing. It's not a viewpoint. It's not standing on a fixed point. Yeah, it makes more and more sense. It's funny because all this answer, when we say noble, it goes against the conventional way of looking, and because it goes against the conventional way, it's scary. It's like very I'm not used to it sometimes, I remember I said this to Dhamma a few weeks ago. I say, I mean, now I'm back into hindrance, so it's a different story. But I mean, a few weeks ago, I find myself to be really into the Dharma. Everything was like, but then I was like, wow, life is really easy. Like I can just do this, do that, and just get it done and just relax. It's just really that simple. But because how simple it is, it's so scary. Like I was saying, like, and then he said, yeah, it's like you're going downhill and there's no training wheel. I'm paraphrasing. I think that's how he said it. And then yeah,
Hmm.
it was so freeing. I'm not sure what's happening. It's like the fear of no fear, which is very s- stupid. But yeah, it's like, man, what is this? No, it's not. It's something's off. Let's go back to the old way. I don't know, man. So weird.
It's so simple that it elicits fear,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's like going downhill.
It's like the mind wants this excitement, it wants this drama, this tension of stress, fight, push, pull, this tension. But then when it's so easy, it's like, huh? Something's, I
It's
don't know
well,
what, yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's
in a certain
uncertainty.
habit. The mind's in a certain habit of that. Yeah, it's in that habit of like push and pull, being tense all the time, trying to control things, trying to control sense experiences. And yeah, then when it understands it doesn't have to do that. It just has to relax and stop pushing and pulling and just sit still.
Yeah, it's just that simple. Do you, I know you love it very much whatsoever. Um, but does your mind sometimes just go randomly like, man, it's too peaceful. I need some. Does it have that very weird moment?
uh like does my mind ever think like, oh, this is too peaceful, I need
I,
something to
I need some stress. It's like
stress?
something.
um well, there's definitely a dukkha that comes up in my mind. There's definitely like
Mhm, mhm,
things that pop into my mind that
mhm.
like can cause dukkha if I don't see it right away.
I see.
Yeah, there is still like cravings that arise in my mind
Mhm.
that they do want more than just this peace. They want like sensory whatever stress, sensory stimulation, that dukkha, that craving arises in my mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I assume it's just simply seeing it and directing it back, right?
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah, just merely seeing it, merely seeing it.
I think every Ajahn, even Dhammarato, go through this, right? Like they have this like it's too peaceful and starts holding on to, starts seeking out sensory. I think that's just the mind. I think it happens to everyone. It makes sense. Sounds more comforting when I can think from that angle. Like if even whatever Ajahn that I can think of go through this, I can feel more at ease.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Everyone's mind is like the same in that way that it always is trying to either praise something that's not here or push away something that is here. But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. Everyone's mind works very similar. Everyone's mind has craving. Yeah, every ajahn, even Dhammarata says, even the arhat, sometimes the arhat feels like a nut.
Mhm. Mm. But the difference is when I feel like I'm done, they don't add on it, right? I just see it. And yeah,
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah, that's somehow ease my fear. When I can just like, man, like whatever Aja you listen to, they had these faces. It's like, oh, okay. Then I know I'm okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not crazy. You just have a mind.
I mean,
Everyone, like everyone.
man, that's so comforting to hear. You're not crazy. You have a mind. I'm gonna stick that. I'm gonna stick that on the wall. It's so comforting. Yeah. It's like this whole path is just friendliness. When I said this to Mikey just now, it's always that friendliness to this experience, right? This sensation, this thoughts, this old habits. It's like just being friendly with it. So. But
Mhm.
that's the hardest part. That's the well for me at least. It's like it's still like let me fight you, like let me
Ah,
strangle you.
well, that's such a good way of putting it. Yeah, this path is, yeah, it's friendliness. Yeah, just making friends with your mind. Yeah, friendliness. Being friendly with whatever happens. And yeah, taking great joy and pleasure in seeing the mind, like witnessing the mind, seeing how it works. Every little craving that comes up, can you see it? It's like playing whack-a-mole. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels very like a video game for me actually.
Yeah,
And
just
I
put,
can,
put. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just whack those moles back.
One last thing is, I don't think it's something for me to play around with, I suppose. But sometimes I have this idea of like man, what's the purpose of waking this morning? What am I doing? That's usually the doubt. Yeah, it's the doubt of trying to make something out of it. Um, Weirdly, I can't be certain yet. I have to keep practicing and seeing. But a few days ago, I was experiencing some dukkha, and I keep throwing it out, right? Keep being friendly with what is here. And at some point, uh, I was able to see the doubt of saying, "What's the point?" Uh, I was able to see through it, and then there's so much peace. And then I was curious, so I look up a Dhamma talk by Ajahn Thanisaro is talking about doubt. I don't know, something the way he was describing it just made something click inside of me. It's like, yeah, this doubt is the Buddha actually make a very he talks a lot about doubt and something inside of me suddenly filled with so much joy is because from my perspective, it's like I was so grateful to the Buddha, to the fact that he was able to. It's like because he was like he understand this thing, this mind, this whole nirvana so clearly that he knows that this doubt, yeah, you guys are gonna fall into this, and then he make a he really try to cover it. And it's like really try to say this is what will happen, this doubt, and I don't know, something inside me just feels so happy and joyful because it's like, wow, he's so compassionate that this teaching was so simple and straightforward. He covered it all. And then it's just this gratefulness, this like, I'm so grateful. And then all this uncertainty about what's the purpose of whacking this mole goes away immediately. Because it's just like, I'm just so grateful. I don't even care. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very wholesome. It sounds very wholesome. Gratitude,
Yeah.
gratitude for the Dhamma, for the Buddha,
Yeah.
and uh, yeah, you asked like, why? What is the purpose of whacking the
Mm.
moles?
Mm.
Yeah, that's also just another mole that's coming up. Actually,
I agree. Yeah, just another mole. Just another mole. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Like Dhamma to say, trying to make something out of it, is trying to create something when there's nothing there. Try to figure things out. That's usually the problem.
mm. Try to creating the problems when there's nothing there.
Mhm.
Creating problems out of nothing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, one thing for sure, it's funny because right now I can see my mind still like I still need to know something, but I can see it's just going to go endlessly. I know what it's trying to do. It's not feeling safe. It's not. They'll stop, and I'm familiar with this stage. It's just another episode that just hindrances. It's nothing much to it. Um,
Mm.
do you? But you know what? Just maybe one last thing is when do you? Is this how people feel? Because okay, for me, right? when I don't remember to wake up, when I'm in this state, it's like very quickly I almost forgot. It's like I've really forgotten how simple it is. I don't know how to explain. It's like it's so quick. It's so quick. It's like I'm in a whirlpool and I'm going everywhere. And then it's telling me stuff like, this is not it, man. We can't do this. But the moment I get out of it, right, when I'm just standing on the shore, it's like, what was I thinking just now? What was happening? Is that your experience too? I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting how you describe it like that. And yeah, I can relate to that sometimes. Yeah, it's like you're in this tornado, you're in the center of the storm, right? And then suddenly, like now you're in total calm, like standing on the shore, like you said, you're just completely out of the storm. But you can reflect back on that, like what was that?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I was another person, Like I guess that's what Buddha said, the rebirth, the the rebirth of the mind. That's a self. Another self was created. So
Hmm.
what was that? What was that just now? I experienced it so much. It feels weird, I guess. I'm not sure what was happening.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. You don't need to know what was happening. You got out of it, so that's what
yeah,
matters.
I agree.
You
Yes,
you can congratulate yourself for coming out of it. That
yeah,
you were
just keep.
successful.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep those successes going. Yeah, keep winning. Keep on winning.
yeah. Thank you, David. I'm gonna rewatch this video. It's really helpful.
Nice. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, I love I love it when you call me. I learn a lot. Actually, myself, I learn how you experience things, and I learn from that. And so, yeah, thank you also for calling me.
Thank you. Also, like this, very beautiful. Like next time I call you, I'll be behind a bunch of trees too, so I can match you. I really love it. I love looking at nature.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. I'd recommend spend lots of time in nature.
Yeah, the Buddha quote, the can't remember something about. I mean, it's a something nice to really appreciate and not like really. I can't remember how he said it because sometimes when people say like sensory restraint, they took it too far. Like, oh, I can't even enjoy nature. Like, no, that's something that is very wholesome for the mind actually. So I can't remember how he said it, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's very calming for the mind and the body. Just being in nature because there's nothing to. It feels like impinging, soliciting, craving, very soothing, healing. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
recommend it. Just like a way to dip out of the world if you're in the city. Like, come back to nature every once in a while, just to like it kind of uplifts the mind. It uplifts the mind and helps manage the defilements. Makes it much easier to manage.
It's the fading of the self. It's nothing there is so peaceful. Yeah, I'm gonna do that later. Yeah. Thank you, David. Talk to
Okay.
you soon.
Yeah. Okay, my pleasure. Nice to talk to you. Okay. Have a nice, joyful day.
Bye bye.
Bye.